Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Seattle Jewish Chorale's spring concert, As the Blooms Appear. We acknowledge that we gather on Indigenous land. Many of us are on the traditional territory of the Duwamish tribe. We encourage anyone living on Duwamish land to learn about their struggle for federal recognition and to join us in donating to Real Rent Duwamish as a show of solidarity. I'm Naomi Adele Smith, and I'm SJC's Operations Director and Chair of our Virtual Choir Task Force. When it became clear that in-person singing would be dangerous for quite some time, we pivoted to online rehearsals and video concerts. Some of our members were already familiar with home recording, but most of them have had to learn this completely new and often frightening skill in order to keep performing together. We work on the music together, remotely, record by ourselves, and then get those files to our production team weeks before our actual concert. Our members' ability and willingness to adapt to such a different way of making music together has been nothing short of astounding. We're grateful to be singing with each other for our B'nai Mitzvah year, and we hope you enjoy the final concert of our season even more than we enjoyed making it for you.
Hello, my name is Ellen, and I have been singing with the Seattle Jewish Chorale for 7 years. Over the years, I have sung in 13 different choral ensembles, but I have never gotten to sing on both sides of a double chorus. Virtual singing has now made that possible. For the double chorus, he gave them hailstones from Handel's Israel and Egypt. Each chorale member learned and recorded both choruses' parts. We follow this with He Sent a Thick Darkness, sung by a quartet of Michelle Goldstein, Rachel Rosenman, Laura Prigoff, and Kevin Wyatt-Stone.
A thick darkness o'er all the land, even darkness which might be felt.
A thick darkness,
A darkness
o'er all the land,
which might be felt. Even darkness which might be felt.
Hello, Hello again. Sorry about that. I still had my double choir filter on. My name is Janice, and I've been singing with the Seattle Jewish Chorale for 10 years. Our next piece is The Rain is Over by Boni Asher. This piece has been a favorite of the chorales for years. Though we live in Seattle, where its message is not always true.
Hello, my name is Jacob Finkle and I am the conductor of the Seattle Jewish Chorale. Today I'm here with Elliot Z. Levine, the composer of our next piece, Entreat Me Not to Leave Thee. We started talking about setting the text, Entreat Me Not to Leave Thee, over a year ago, and in writing this piece, you added other texts. How do you find Jewish texts that move you?
I'm always looking for interesting texts. In this case, the text was specified, and which I was glad because it's a text I've always loved and very moved by. And I felt I wanted to have something modern to go along with it. So I found this wonderful poem by Marge Percy, which I've used part of in the middle of the piece. And I felt that it related to the story of Ruth and Naomi. but I'm always looking. I'm always looking in I have a lot of poetry books and browsing in bookstores for poetry, for songs, and for choral pieces. I'm always looking in Maxors and other religious collections of texts for something that just says music to me, and it's hard to specify what it is. I generally like things that are fairly short and concise, fairly simple language, uh, that I feel in studying music, if the poetry is very complex and um, looking in on itself, it's hard to have that expressed well in a piece of music for me.
Now, this piece is a little more avant-garde than some of your pieces that we've sung in the past. Did you draw inspiration from specific composers? And was there something in particular you wanted to convey with this musical language?
The style of music that came out when I was looking at this text is, I think, very clearly reminiscent of Philip Glass, with that very fast arpeggio figure in the flute and the keyboard. Um, I, I've worked a lot with Philip Glass. The Western Wind, the group I sang with in New York for many years, did a theater piece of his, the La Mama Experimental Theater downtown. And then at the same time, he was writing the score for Pianist in 1981. And we sang on the soundtrack for that, and also recorded it later for Nonsuch. And then went on to record a lot of other music of his in his studio, so that productions would have, directors would have basic a recording of a new piece, some of his operas and other pieces. And we sang on a movie score for Candyman, a horror movie, and also music in 12 parts. So I'm familiar with his music. At first, I didn't like it at all, and then it grew on me, and that's part of my vocabulary. Not typically, though. I would say I'm more affected by Renaissance music, medieval music, and all the music in between then and now. I mean, I like a lot of pop music. I like Foray. I like Barry Manilow. I like the Beatles. So somewhere, all of that's in the mix somewhere. Um, I think this piece, has definitely Philip Glass kind of sounds, which you could also call John Adams, because that music uses some of the same arpeggio figures. But also Randall Thompson, great American choral writer, great setter of text. So I always am looking to make the text clear, even if there's some polyphony, that the text doesn't get obscured, especially when you're working with such nice texts.
Now, if someone were going to make a biopic of your life, who would you want to play you? And who would you want to write the soundtrack?
Well, if someone were to make a biopic of my life, I would tell them, don't bother. But I would be very flattered, of course. And one of my favorite actors is Alfred Molina, the British actor. He can do anything. He can do any accent. Great stage actor, great film actor. Not a big fancy star, but he's always working. For instance, he played Diego Rivera in that wonderful movie Frida, by Frida Kahlo, a movie by Julie Taymor. He played Tevye on Broadway, and he's done just a big variety. And I always look for things that he's in. So he would be my choice. And of course, I would want to write the score. I don't want some really sort of cheesy movie music. I want good movie music. And I always, when I'm watching movies and TV shows, I'm always paying too much attention to the music. I like it's a very subtle art. And I've done a little bit of that for some documentaries, and greatly respect the craft of it and what it adds to the visual element.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for writing us this beautiful and moving piece. This piece was commissioned for the chorale in memory of Nadiv Rosenstein and of Saul Krasner, whose Chai Yahrzeit, the 18th anniversary of his passing, is this year.
tiefke Ivileos weg. Show me a woman who does not dream of double hearts, twin, a sister of the mind,
In whose ear she can whisper,
whose hair she can braid as her life twists its pleasure and pain and shame. Show me a woman who does not hide in the locket of bone that deep I be, but fiercely gentle love.
she had once for a mother,
Daughter, sister. Once like a warm moon that radiance aligned the tides of her blood into potent order.
at the season of first fruits, we recall true travelers,
Oh, conspirators,
scavengers making do with leftovers and millions, whose friendship was stronger than fear.
rather than hunger, walked together. The shore of shores and shore. Kiel asher telchielech, kiel asher telchielech. Uva asher talini alin, uva asher talini alin, and my God, Velohayich, Velohai, Velohayich, Velohai. Ativke Ivileos weg, entreat me not to leave thee.
My name is Deborah, and it's my privilege to be the current president of the Seattle Jewish Chorale. As we are transitioning to our second set, I just wanted to sincerely thank our anonymous matching fund donor. This donor challenged us to create our Plant the Seeds of Harmony campaign. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to our success. Toda Rabbah. Thank you ever so much, and we appreciate your support. Yasher Koach. May our community continue to grow from strength to strength.
Hamisha asar, venavermos vamos cantar. Laba labayamos aspera con 15 platos de fruta.
Labayamos aspera con 15 platos de fruta.
Hello, my name is Susie, and I've been singing with the Seattle Jewish Chorale for 11 years. That was our chamber choir, Banu Lashir, singing Hamisha Asar, which means 15, arranged by Nick Page. This arrangement is based on an original Ladino song by Flori Jagoda, a bastion of Sephardic music who sadly passed away early this year. Our next song is an original piece by Nick Page, La'ela, meaning upward. Page said an uplifting text from Rabbi Abraham Isaac Kook and ended it with a South African style Mbube section.
Song, a threefold
Vicki, and I've been singing with the Seattle Jewish Chorale for all 13 years, thanks to Ron, 1 week less than Seema. This pandemic has been difficult in many ways for everyone. May the memories of all the people we have lost be blessings for all who cared for them. As with many choral groups, we've been unable to sing together for over a year. We miss hearing each other's voices joining together. Many of us joined a choir because we don't feel comfortable singing alone. We miss getting to work in person to shape music with our conductor. We hold out hope that through strong communal bonds and caring, we will head toward better times for all.
Somewhere, 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 some place for us. Somewhere a place for us. Peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us. Someday a time for us. Time together with time to spare. Time to learn. Time to care. A time, someday a time. Someday a time. Time to spare. Someday a time. Time to care. Someday a time. Someday a time. Somewhere, someday a time, someday a time, some place for us, time and place, time and place, time and place, time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday,
Hello, my name is Inez Caspi, and I have been singing with the Seattle Jewish Chorale for 13 years. Before we get to our final song, we have many people we need to thank. First and foremost, we want to thank you, our audience and patrons. Whether you have attended our concerts, supported our spring fundraiser, or lived with a chorale member and helped with their home recording efforts, we could not have made it through our 13th season without you. Thank you to our board, and specifically our board president, Deborah Jeffsgrad, for making an important early call to cease in-person rehearsals, to taking the risk of a virtual season, all while becoming our own 501c3. Your leadership has consistently put us on the right path. Thank you to the Music Task Force, headed up by our Operations Director, Naomi. The task force created a virtual choir plan and implemented it, taking into account the unique needs of our community. Thank you to Kevin Wyatt-Stone, our audio engineer and music theory expert. Thank you also to Susan Colwick, our audio intern. Thank you to Shiri Rosenstein, our music librarian, who has needed to manage both physical and digital versions of our music. Thank you to Harumi Makiyama, our incredible collaborative pianist. We are so lucky to get to work with such an accomplished musician. Thank you to our other instrumentalists, Ruth Navarre, Shiri Rosenstein, and Johnny Unicorn. Thank you to our assistant directors, Tim Morrissey, Rachel Rosenman, Naomi Adele Smith, and Kevin Wyatt-Stone. Their responsibilities and leadership have been needed more than ever when rehearsing over Zoom, and they have consistently risen to the occasion. Thank you to Elliot Z. Levine for writing a truly beautiful and moving piece for the chorale. We are grateful for your partnership and your friendship. Thank you to our music director, Jacob Finkle, for your judicious use of the Mute All button during Zoom rehearsals. We appreciate everything you did and learned, like video editing, to adapt to this virtual choir format. Your musical leadership will continue to drive us forward, no matter what our group looks like in the future. Our final song is Alle Breeder. Please sing along. Even if you don't know the words, please sing along.
seinen freilich munter. Oi, oi, freilich munter. Singen Lieder, tanzen unter. Oi, oi, oi. Und wir seien alle Schwester. Oi, oi, alle Schwester. So wie Rachel, Ruth und Esther. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi.
Hi, this is a pretty simple setup for a recording studio. Just let you follow me. And we're going downstairs along with various animals. This is my dog Griffin. Then we just make a 180-degree turn. And then to the right here. It might look like a bathroom, but it's actually a recording studio. I just have to take my phone, put it right up here, has tape on it, turn it on, and this will allow me to record. When this plays, it's recording. My iPad, which is unfortunately doing the video right now, so I can't show you, would have the conducting video on it. I either play it out loud when I do the video, or I use my bone conducting headphones to listen to it while I record my voice. That's how it's done. Pretty simple.